Welcome to Angry Birds Dark Side Episode 2, where we probe the mysterious world of non-licensed Angry Bird toys. Considering this episode features a helicopter Angry Bird, I'm pretty sure we're in for a smashing good time. That helicopter Angry Bird had a passion for crashing. Okay, well, the first bird, or should I say helicopter in this video, is a 3.5 channel Happy Bird RC helicopter. We're just looking at the artwork on the back of the box, and it looks like this bird has got quite a few little features it does, apart from attempting to fly. And I paid $40 for this toy. I tried to get the price down because I felt it was completely overpriced. I'm pretty certain it's a knockoff toy, and I'll explain that a little bit later on. If you're a real bird, seeing that in the air would scare the absolute hell out of you. Well, this little very angry helicopter can be charged up two ways, either from the remote control or from a laptop. On the end of the box is an explanation of what the RC controller can do. And on the top of the box is this very, very interesting line. It says, "This product has applied for patent and counterfeit is not permitted." So was that one line read a little bit of a legal loophole for the people who made the helicopter? Let's have a look at something which is a real McCoy Angry Birds item. This is a salt and pepper shaker. And how I know it's a real McCoy one is it's got the name of the people behind Angry Birds on the box, and there's all the proper information as well related to those people. That's a real McCoy product. Let's have a look at another one. Well, zippity do that. Here's another box. That's what you want to see on Angry Bird stuff. And there's also a toy manufacturer's name there. And on the back here, there's a whole bunch of information about trademarks and blah blah. Once again, there's the names you want to see. That one there. And if I go back to look on this helicopter, nowhere on the box do I find information that relates it back to the owners of Angry Birds. And there's actually a couple of very interesting web articles about this and how Angry Birds, well, how would you best say it, seems to enjoy a lot of what you call copyright leakage. So remember, none of the $40 that I spent buying this toy has gone back to the owners of Angry Birds. And it's something which is really interesting to read about. And obviously Angry Birds are doing it in a very different style. There's a very detailed instruction manual with this little helicopter bird, and it's very similar to what you find in most other RC helicopters. There's a whole bunch of parts there, and there's a whole section of it in Chinese as well. Well, I hope that's Chinese. How would I ever know? As I was getting this Angry Bird out of the box, I noticed on the bottom there's a spare set of blades and the USB charger. Well, my appraisal of this toy in my hands, it feels very light. It feels like those wings are just going to get ripped off. Everything's, well, I suppose all those little helicopters are like this. They're made light. They're made with bits that are flexible. But I'll be honest, I can't see how this thing is going to be a good flyer. It just doesn't look right to me, in being a good RC helicopter flyer. But maybe I'll be totally wrong. The remote control unit, infrared one, it takes 6 AA batteries. It gives it a fair bit of weight. It needs it because it was feeling very cheap and nasty before the batteries were put in. The joysticks, a joystick's nice and short. They don't feel too bad. But what is nice about this unit is it's quite large. It's not like those little tiny ones where the two joysticks are so close together. This is actually a nice size. There's a little secret bay to get a charging plug to go to the Angry Bird. On Angry Bird's bum is a little charging socket, and the remote control has got a bit of a flashing light going on there, probably telling me it's charging. Before I fly this, I'll show you what it does. You can turn it on, and there's another button you push to get the mouth and wings going. Woohoo! Well, this is a very tricky little bird to fly. I've had a bit of a play. It's scary. I'm going to try and give it a go. You can't get it, try and get it back in the light. Trying to get it back in the light. It's hard to fly. It's hard to fly. Whoa! I think I've got it there flying. Oh! Oh no! That's not how you meant to fly the bird. Well, I've sort of got control until it hits something. Ah! Oh! Ah! Ow! This bird must think I'm a pig because it keeps coming after me. Oh, there we go. That was flying, sort of. Sort of-ish. That's the best I can do, guys. And I'm struggling to do that. Oh, no! Oh, it didn't last long, did it? Well, I threw up the slow motion camera on this little very Angry Bird helicopter thing, and remembering that some of the times here I am holding the camera in one hand and the remote control in the other, and I'm hopefully not making an excuse for this shocking piloting that I've got, and I crashed this bird many, many times. I've had to riddle through a whole bunch of footage to find snippets of where it looks like it's in control, but believe me, it's actually not. It's interesting, I kept forgetting to press the button that makes the beak, wings and tail feather flap away, and my brain was just too tied up in trying to control this beast. So that's why sometimes when you see it flying, that little beak is not doing its pecking. As a novelty helicopter, flying around, I think it's a whole bunch of fun. It's sort of nice eye candy, and I'm pretty sure if you're a competent RC helicopter pilot, you could easily control this little helicopter Angry Bird. Well, very, very interesting indeed. I've just spent the last half an hour trying to destroy this, and it is still in one piece. I cannot believe it. The blades are still in fairly good condition. The beak's taken a bit of a hit and looks like a bit of damage on the beak. I think there's a piece missing there, I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing, or maybe not. I don't know, I have to look back on the tape. What can I say? It is a little bit tricky to fly, but it's not impossible to fly. I'm just a very, very poor pilot of these things. And I've got so much tape of this thing crashing, I could almost put it up as a special fail reel all by itself. It just looks so stupid as it crashes into stuff, and it just keeps wanting to eat stuff up. Interesting. I'm quite surprised how robust that little critter is. The next one I've got, Angry Bird Space. It's got some really strange looking birds. It's got a slingshot, an air band where I live, and it's got some really strange artwork all over the box. When you read stuff like that, you'll know you're playing with the dark side. On the back of the packaging is a show and tell of how to operate this toy. I suppose all children know how to operate a slingshot, except those where I live, because they are illegal. And there's all the artwork on the back of this packaging, and this toy cost me $10. Well, let's give these birds a little bit of a spin so you can see what we have in the set. These are soft and rubbery, sort of like doggy toys, but they're so small that if you gave it to your dog's going to choke on them. Nevertheless, they are what they are, and remembering this is a knockoff toy, this is not the real McCoy, and I think this is the sad part of what we call the runaway copyright breaches that are going on with Angry Birds. And to make this really, really special, there's a hidden feature in this. Listen. That's going to really cheese some people off. Let's take a look at the slingshot. This is actually a prohibited weapon where I live. Do not laugh, this is the truth. There is a loophole in the law, but I'm not going to explain it online. The elastic in it is fairly slack. Let's set up a target and let's do some shooting. Okay, let's see what damage I can do. I know they're not pigs, but 3, 2, 1, let's go! Oh! Coming for the kill shot. Wow, that was a real Angry Birds game. I would have got top score. Next item is a Angry Bird bubble gun. It's a blue bird. It's got some strange artwork. The light with 7 colours and music. And on the back are some instructions on how to put batteries in and load the gun. Well, I suppose this is a perfect example that just about anything can become Angry Birds themed. There's a trigger there, and the trigger does a little swipe there, which would be beginning your bubbles once I put some mix in, and there's a battery compartment which looks really poorly designed. Anyway, let's bubble this up and battery it up and see what it does. Well, I've got the bubble mix in, I've got some batteries in, this cost me $10, let's see what it does. Angry Birds theme. Fancy that. Trying to get some bubbles going here, come on, you can do it. Oh, I've got it, whoa! Also got the camera lens. Looks fine if you ask me. That's bubble machine. Come on. Failing on me. I wonder why. And if I turn some lights off, we get to see how bright that light is. Well, the next one is a fairly fine-looking red bird. It might be a bit of a mystery too if I'm holding it like this as to exactly what it is. If I take it back a bit, you'll see it says mini fan. If I push the head, it does this. And it blows a little breeze at you, just to cool you off after you've spent $10 buying this toy. It's one of those little fans that you can hang around your neck if you'd like, and the blades won't cut you because they're all soft. I dare say, it's the very fashionable thing if you're an Angry Birds fan. No pun intended. Well, this toy is a toy that many people would remember used to have little penguins on it, but this one's got Angry Birds. It cost me $20. The box artwork does not disappoint. It's strange. I'm really fearful it's got one of those horrid sound chips in there doing some... Well, it may have the Angry Birds theme if we're lucky. It might have something else. Let's get it out and let's see what it does. It wouldn't be a YouTube video without some sort of unboxing shot like this. Looks like there's some stickers there. Let's take a look at these birds. They look a little bit weird. If I can get this... Fighting this plastic. Let's get a bird out. Have a look at a bird. Hello, red bird. Very strange looking bird, indeed. These little birds have got some rollers underneath, and at least there's some tail feather action, so we're probably going to be okay. Rightio then, the toy is all built, it's quite large, it's got some nice bright colours going on. I've got 3 birds ready to go for a run. Let's turn it on and find out what we hear. Sit back and watch. I call them Guinness toys. You don't touch these things, you just get pleasure out of watching it work. Some people really enjoy this sort of stuff, but I can tell you what, even after the few minutes I've had this on, it's starting to really get my nerves going. I've just spotted the best feature on this toy. That's more like it. I'll tell you one thing about Angry Birds, it'd be an absolutely awesome thing to collect. There's just so many toys, be it the fake knockoff stuff like this, or the real McCoy. This video chewed up a lot of time looking at this. There's a whole bunch more of these toys I'd like to look at, and in future videos there's some that I want to blow up, because you know those little Angry Birds, they tend to blow up when they don't do their job in the game. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, I hope you've lasted this long, and you know what comes next. I dare say there's going to be a lot of crashing and bashing in it. Oopsies! Oh, horrible sounds, isn't it? How to make fake and gay toys fly. Oh! Ow! Oh! Ow! I'm struggling to... Oh! Ow! Ow! I hate that sound. The toy you see on screen at the moment, the next day after I made this video, I took it inside and it broke down that day. My son was playing with it. Well, I opened it up and also made a video about what went wrong with this toy. And in a very strange way, by me showing you how to repair this toy, it also exposes the absolute rubbish that it is. And sadly, by purchasing these knockoff toys, you're taking a huge gamble in a number of ways. Okay, that's it. See ya.